Have you ever played a game of chess and lost? I've had the pleasure of losing many, many times. And usually when I'm in those games where I'm losing, there's this time when my opponent is just pushing me around the board. There's like nothing I can do. I'm helpless. It's like I just react to whatever they do. I can't plan, strategize, do any of the moves I want, and I'm just basically defending myself. And they put me in check and I move. They put me in check and I move, and then they take all my good pieces. And it's this a bit of a helpless feeling in this game of chess. And I've actually experienced that in life as well, where it seems like I'm just reacting to whatever life is throwing at me. Like maybe a bill pops up, oh, I gotta pay that bill, wasn't expecting that. Or suddenly I look around and the house is a mess, now I gotta clean it. Or I'm thinking, oh, a year has passed and I haven't been out on a date with my wife, now I gotta plan that, right? So it's just reacting to life, and it's, it's just not a very fun way to live life. And hopefully you've experienced the opposite of that, right? They call it proactive. Pro means, good, like good action or productive action, where we're planning ahead and kind of things are more scheduled, and it usually creates a bit of a smoother experience when it comes to life. This could be simple things like instead of waking up and wondering what to wear, you've already set it out the night before. Instead of waking up and wondering what to take for lunch, you've planned that ahead and that's all ready to go. Instead of looking around and suddenly the house is in a disaster, maybe you've split the house up into pieces and the family cleans one small section every day, and then the house kind of maintains itself. Working out, instead of feeling guilty and suddenly needing to work out, it's on the calendar already. Hopefully you've experienced proactive living and it makes sense. It's probably nothing new for you. And it's something we should keep working at, right? There's probably lots of different areas where we can be more proactive, and it just reduces stress and makes life better. But what about being proactive on a bad day or for a bad day? What about creating a proactive plan to deal with or prevent a bad day? I got the idea from talking to a guy that has an addiction, struggles, he's an addict. And he has a plan to help him fight that addiction. And so when he's in a situation and he feels, usually there's triggers, it's triggering these things and he feels them coming on. Step one, to leave the situation, leave the area. And step two is to call a friend. It's not a serious phone call, they're not talking about anything serious, it's just a friendly chat. The serious phone call is like step 5, I think, and call somebody else. And so it's his plan and it works for him. Usually he says he has to get himself kind of out of the limelight, he calls it. You can imagine your life like a stage and you're the main character. Sometimes in these situations it helps to get yourself off the stage and put something else there, something good there, and think about that thing. And that's the way he describes it. And I thought, why can't we use that proactive plan for something like a bad day? Some people call them dark days, to prevent them or to deal with them as they're happening. And so that's the challenge. I think it would be fun and be creative to come up with a cool plan and start out easy, something simple. Maybe, you feel these triggers happening and you pull out your phone and maybe there's a picture there or something that has an emotional connection for you that's positive. Think about it, look at it, or read something, right? It could be a bit of a spiritual exercise for you. Step 2 could be, again, easy, just breathing. Lots of YouTube videos out there about how to breathe and how it can calm and reduce stress. Simple, fun things even, different, thinking differently, like it could be a shower. I think there's power in a shower, right? It just seems to wash and remove things that you don't want and sends them down the drain and they're gone, right? So you could have fun and think of things. And I think your plan should work for other people. And that sounds a little weird because it's your plan, but I think you would have a good plan when it would work for other people. For example, if your plan included something like, I'm going to take 2 shots of whiskey and go to bed, well, that's not going to work for everybody. And so I would try and come up with things that make sense for, all of humanity, or at least the majority of humanity. And then I think you're on the right track to coming up with a good plan. And that's it. This week, it's nothing complex. I think we should move towards proactive life and even think about having a proactive plan for a bad day or a dark day. And that's it. Thanks for listening. I'd love to hear if you do come up with something. I'd love to hear your ideas. And yeah, we'll talk to you next week.